Emily Carter had never trusted silence. It wasn't just because she was a light sleeper, it was because silence felt unnatural to her, like something was missing. Her small apartment in Chicago usually made quiet noises at night. The faint ticking of the wall clock, the distant hum of traffic, the soft creak of old wood, those sounds comforted her. They made her feel safe, but lately, the silence had become different, heavier, as if something was waiting inside it. It began with a nightmare, not the kind filled with sudden jumps or terrifying creatures, but something far more unsettling. Every night, without fail, Emily would suddenly become aware that she was standing in the hallway of her apartment. There was no memory of falling asleep, no sense of transition. One moment there was nothing, and the next she was just there. The hallway looked exactly the same as it did in real life. The framed photos were perfectly in place. The dim yellow light cast familiar shadows, and the wooden floor stretched cold beneath her bare feet. Everything was normal, and yet it didn't feel normal. At the end of the hallway was her bedroom door, slightly open, just like she always left it. But something about it felt wrong. The darkness inside the room wasn't ordinary. It seemed deeper, thicker, as if it wasn't just the absence of light but something alive. The first time, she hesitated before moving. Her body felt slow, heavy, like she was forcing herself through water. Still, she stepped forward, unable to resist the strange pull drawing her closer to the room. That's when she heard it, a whisper, soft, faint, almost loving. "Emily." She froze instantly. Her breath caught in her throat as her heart began to pound loudly in her ears. The voice didn't come from behind her or around her. It came from inside her bedroom. Her hand trembled as she reached for the doorknob. The metal felt unnaturally cold against her skin. Every instinct told her to run, to turn back, to escape the hallway entirely. But she didn't. Slowly, she pushed the door open. The darkness inside the room swallowed everything. It wasn't soft or comforting, it was suffocating. Her eyes struggled to adjust, searching for something, anything that made sense. And then she saw it. In the far corner of the room, where the shadows gathered thickest, something stood, tall, still, watching her. At first, it was only a shape, a darker patch within the darkness. But the longer she stared, the clearer it became. Its body looked wrong, its limbs too long, its posture unnatural, as if it wasn't meant to exist in the way it did. Emily tried to scream, but no sound came out. Her throat tightened, her voice completely gone. Panic flooded her body, yet she couldn't move, couldn't even look away. The figure slowly tilted its head, like it was studying her, and then it spoke. "Go back to sleep." The voice was soft, familiar. It was her voice. Emily woke up instantly, gasping for air as she sat upright in her bed. Her heart raced violently, her chest rising and falling as if she had just escaped something real. She glanced at the clock beside her, 3:17 a.m. She stared at the glowing numbers, trying to calm herself. It was just a dream, she whispered, but deep inside, she knew it wasn't that simple. The next night, it happened again. The same hallway, the same dim light, the same half-open door. But this time, the whisper came sooner, and when she opened the door, the figure wasn't in the corner anymore. It had moved closer. Each night, it came nearer. On the third night, it stood halfway across the room. On the fourth, it was near her bed. On the fifth, it stood just inside the doorway, always silent, always watching. Emily stopped sleeping properly after that. She forced herself to stay awake, drinking coffee, keeping all the lights on, and leaving the television running just to fill the silence. But no matter how hard she tried, sleep always came, and when it did, the nightmare returned. By the seventh night, she couldn't take it anymore. When she found herself in the hallway again, staring at the slightly open door, she made a decision. This time, she wouldn't run. Her legs trembled as she walked forward, but she didn't stop. When she reached the door, she pushed it open without hesitation. The figure stood there, closer than ever, just a few feet away. She could see more now, the outline of a face, the hollow darkness where eyes should have been, and a faint, unnatural smile stretching across its lips. "Who are you?" she asked, her voice shaking. The figure smiled wider. "I'm you." Emily's stomach dropped. "No, you're not." The thing stepped closer. Now it was right in front of her. "You leave your body every night," it said softly, "and I take your place." Her breathing became uneven. "What does that mean?" The figure leaned in closer, its face inches away from hers. For the first time, she saw it clearly. It was her. Every feature matched, but twisted. Pale skin, hollow black eyes, a smile that didn't belong to anything human. "You wake up," it whispered slowly. A pause. "But I stay," Emily screamed, and suddenly woke up. She sat upright in her bed, gasping, her body shaking uncontrollably. The room looked normal, safe, quiet. Relief washed over her. "It's over," she whispered to herself. But then she noticed something. Her bedroom door was open, wider than she ever left it. Her heart stopped. Slowly, she turned her head toward the corner of the room. At first, there was nothing, just darkness. Then, a shape, tall, still, watching her. Emily's breath caught in her throat. This wasn't a dream. She was awake. The clock beside her glowed faintly. 3:17 a.m. The figure tilted its head, and in the silence of the room, she heard it again. Her own voice, soft, calm. Right behind her,